Good afternoon, everyone. It's Shalonda here with the softest side of real estate. And I have a beautiful co host today with us, and she's going to introduce herself. We're actually coming on today to talk about generational wealth, which that's where her expertise lies. And I'm going to let her take the mic. Okay. So, no further ado, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, hey everyone. My name is Luince, and I've been in the finance industry for the past 11 years, and I'm glad to be here with you, Shalinda.
Well, we welcome you, the audience welcome you. And, let's just jump on into it. We've been, we had a small talk behind the scenes just about creating wealth. First of all, how long have you been in the wealth building industry?
I've been teaching people about money, families about money and how to build a financial portfolio, how to put it together with everything from when we walk into a family's home, we basically talk about everything finance with them. And
Okay.
doing that for 11 years.
Wow. Okay. Now, what made you get into that industry?
Well, it was kind of like a surprise. I needed $500 extra to basically. I had this ministry in Haiti and in Africa. I had 20 kids in Africa and 54 kids in Haiti that I was providing for. I was like sending them to school and feeding them. And I mean, I had a regular job. I was working as a medical assistant for a very long time. My families were okay, but I needed that extra $500 because 500
Okay.
aunt would do that for me, would take care of these kids in
Okay.
Africa and in Haiti. And someone called me about like this opportunity, and I went in and I'm like, man, if I can get my investment license and teach money. And at the time, the information they showed me, I needed it for my own family too, because I had just given birth to my daughter and my son. And I'm like, man, we need help. We need to get out of debt and we need to invest money. We've been working for a long time and we don't know anything about 401k and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
I was in the same position where I needed somebody to build me a portfolio and teach me how to manage my money. So once I did that, I'm like, man, everybody could use this. So I started from there.
Okay. So now that you introduced that part of the conversation, that when you saw an opening that you needed for yourself, really before you can help someone else, you had to start the help charity in home first, right?
Yes.
So when that aha moment, how was that different from when you were raised? Like, did your parents teach you about, investing?
No, not. I mean, the closest I came to learning about money was a high school class teaching me how to write, like how to balance a checkbook. You know how to write a check. I mean, I'm sure most people do that in high school when you take a class and they teach you how to balance a checkbook. And I've always thought to tell people that we don't use checkbook for ourselves. We always use checkbook to pay other people to send money out of our house, right? So people,
Right.
I was always told how to send money out, never had to keep it
Mm,
in my house or how to make it work for me. My dad didn't teach me anything like that, and I know it's not because he didn't want to; it's
mm,
because he didn't know.
yeah.
An immigrant from Haiti. He came when I was 2 years old. He left me. And he's been in this country for like over 40 years. And my dad still didn't know how to invest $50
Wow. Okay.
and make that work for him. And if he did, and which is one of the reasons I really got into this, is because I look at my dad and my husband's parents, and if somebody walked into their home and taught them how to save $100 40 years ago, $100 a month, they would be retiring financially independent. And they wouldn't have to worry about like social security. If they give it to them, fine, but they wouldn't have to depend on that, to
Mhm.
cover retirement. But nobody taught us how to do that.
You know that is so true. Like I was mentioning to you on the back end of things that just growing up in general, like when my mom transitioned, that is when I realized how much she was making. And like I told you, my mom had 6 kids. So as a child, you just see your mom working, you have a car, you have lights, you have shelter, but you really don't know as a child how mommy and daddy is making this happen. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like I told you, as an adult, when after my mom transitioned, I saw that on her paperwork, she was making $5.25 at Walt Disney World. So as an adult and as a mother, even though she wasn't here to so I can have that revelation of wow, my mom actually struggled, you know what I mean? But she made it happen and we didn't know that. You know, she did what she had to do. $5.25 with 6 children. There's no way you can do that today.
No,
No
no.
way. No way you can do that today. And I just have a totally different appreciation for my mom, especially now knowing what she did and her sacrifice. But I'm sure her parents didn't teach her about generational wealth, you know, about saving properly
Right.
from every dollar you get, save 30 cents of that or 70 cents of that. You know, that wasn't for one, that's not taught in the black and brown community. That's not, it's just not taught.
Yeah, I mean, I've always go back to if we know better, we would do better. Um,
Exactly.
I understand your mom was making that much. Even then, if somebody came to her and said, you know what, you can invest $50 a month,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she would have pushed to do that. She would have, if somebody mentioned to her that, that $50 in 20 years and 30 years a month might go to $500,000, she would do
Exactly.
it, if somebody
Exactly.
taught her how to do it. So we go on what we know. That's why it's
Exactly.
everything.
Yep. You know, and it's just, and that's one thing that I'm trying to teach my children. But before we get into that, let's talk about some ways that we as parents can teach our children what we did not know, how $50 can turn into $100,000, you know, just within a few years. You know, let's talk about that. How can they start that, or how can we start that even as adults if we have not begun that step already?
Okay, so I mean, investing is another way for you to create financial wealth, and generational wealth for you to even transfer it over to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned to clients when they come into my office or I walk into their home, I tell them the only reason that we are where we are is because of everything we know. Right now, we know these things. We're gonna teach it to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing we don't have in the I'll say the black community, but it's not just the black communities. It's like we're not owners. We
Yes.
don't own anything. So we were taught to be consumers. We were taught to write a check out and pay somebody and buy something. So we were never taught. Nobody taught us or teach us to be like owners. To own stuff. So when the new Louis Vuitton bag, come out, or the new iPhone come out, or anything come out, we want to buy it. So we
Got
buy
it.
brands instead of investing in companies and owning shares of companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to create generational wealth is to own
Mm-hmm.
stuff that we can transfer over to the
Yep.
next generation, and the next generation can transfer over to the next generation, right?
Right.
And this way, I mean, you're already doing it. One of the good way to do it is real estate, right? Because we know that on a piece of property, we if 30 years from now we can either transfer it to our kids or we can rent it out and it provide an income for us,
and
right?
and not only that too, you say for instance, like I'll give you a true mindset of mine before, like many moons ago, when I was probably in my fifth or sixth year in property management. I personally had a mentality of I don't want to own a house. It's too much work. You know, me personally, I am an introvert. So I probably won't like my neighbors, you know. So if I don't like my neighbors, now I'm stuck in this mortgage. And, you know, that's just how my mind was working, right?
Right.
So then that lasted for years. And I laugh now because I was that one person that just looked at it like, I don't care about, I'll rent, you know, I would rent. And I'm okay with that. But I knew my father had a house, my mom had a house. So I knew ownership existed within our family. But the way my mindset was working, because again, that part of life wasn't taught to us. We just did and followed suit. So we knew
Yeah.
we were moving. We just packed our stuff and we was in this house that mom and dad paid the bills on, you know?
Right.
Um,
Um,
so
it's almost the same thing with investing.
Yeah.
Like the same thing. When I meet a lot of people I meet, they rather save their money or keep it in cash. They don't want to own a company or invest in a company. Well, mostly because they don't understand the difference, like what it would do. But
Mm-hmm.
just like how you had this
Yeah.
mentality and the thought of, oh wait, I don't want to own a home for
Right.
since this, we find a lot of people don't want to own investment for some of
Mm-hmm.
the same reasons too.
And the crazy thing is now what, especially in the black and brown community, I'll say in the black and brown community that doesn't have access to that knowledge or just the understanding of it all. Like I'll give you a true example. When I purchased my house, I purchased it for 246,000, right?
Right.
Where can you go? You purchase something for 246,000, which is a debt I took on, right?
Right.
I took on a $246,000 debt. But I can now go, especially in today's market, I can sell this $246,000 debt and make $87,000, almost $100,000 off that debt. You can't do that in renting. That's because renting is not an investment. So I want my children to understand that, like, hey, listen, if I wanted like a jump start really quick, because my goal is to not necessarily come out of traditional real estate, but I want to be more focused in the investment side of real estate. So I've really been trying to get into that. And I set my children down. I was like, you know what? Hey, I'm thinking about selling this house, sell it, gather some income, go get a couple of rental properties, and then we just purchase another property. I
Right.
have good credit, I can purchase, but where can you do that if you're not investing? Because owning real estate is a form of investing,
Right. And you're already doing it, doing the teaching the next generation. I mean, we have to start at home, because even with my daughter, I remember she was 12, and I,
Mhm.
I taught her about the rule of 72, and how if she, like, I literally tell her, you know what, you need to walk into a bank and ask them, you're gonna invest $10,000, how much money they're gonna put, they're gonna give you an
Yeah,
interest. And
yeah,
when you literally know the difference between
yes,
a 1% and a 12% interest, and the difference between a stock and a bond. And because you have to start at home, once you start teaching
mhm,
them, you include them in the decision making.
yeah,
If you start doing it, I promise you, they just follow. Your
yeah,
kids will just, I mean, let's say you open an investment account for your daughter, um,
yes,
and you put $50 in it. When she get her own job, she gonna put another $50 in it because you've started it for her. So I
mhm,
mean, it literally, I mean, you have to teach them. And I have my kids with a lot of books.
okay,
um, that's how I give them the information I didn't know. Is to literally, like, I have them with books. I have them watch Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett had this little show for kids.
okay,
Millionaire Mind, something, a show he had for kids, and I had them watch that, the
mhm,
whole thing. And where they learn about investment, they learn about how to build a business.
mhm,
Because our kids will do what we do, because
yeah,
we did what our parents did. You know,
exactly.
we did
Exactly. When I say
it.
I totally agree with you, I totally agree with you, Um, and it's just so important for us. And one thing too, before we like change the subject, now when I purchase like big ticket items, like even when I upgraded my cell phones, my laptop, cars, anything that I buy that's over $500, guess what I do? I go to the stock market and invest in that company.
That's
I'm not just gonna sit here and walk around with an iPhone and not be now, shareholder. I wasn't taught that, but I learned that very quickly.
right.
So it's just little things like that to make sure instill in our children.
Right.
Don't just have on those shoes, because you know what? The creator of those shoes, Jordan, whoever that created their shoes, they don't know you exist in this world.
Yes.
They don't know you exist.
I mean, in order for us to do this whole generational wealth
Mhm.
transfer thing, and it's such a good thing, it's such a great thing, because even the Bible mentioned that,
Yeah,
and live inheritance to for
yeah.
his children and stuff. And So one of the way, I mean, we've always known to buy brands, right? We invest in other people's last names.
Yep.
You know,
Very true. Very true.
we we buying their last names and making them rich,
Yep.
instead of ours. But it starts with exactly what you're doing, right? We invest in things that we're already spending our money on, right?
Yes.
Our kids, they love Roblox. Well, my sons, they do. They
Mhm.
always playing Roblox and then always buying this Robux, whatever this thing is, right?
Mhm.
Have them invest in Roblox. I mean, they just went
Yes.
public. It's a public company.
Yes.
Look into it. I mean, invest in the toilet moist brand that you buy. You're already paying for it. You're already spending your money on it. I mean, everybody now have Netflix. Netflix, in 2002, when their IPO came out, it was
Mhm.
64 cents.
How much?
64 cents.
Wow. Wow.
So, let's just jump to 2010. Okay, so you didn't
Mhm.
catch it in 2008. In 2010, it was $8 and 89 cents. So we're talking about now people are paying like $8.99 for the very basic.
Basic.
Okay, so my husband and I, we always say like we're gonna have the company pays for our monthly premium. We're gonna have the
Yep.
company pay for our car. So if we wanna buy a car, we'll buy the Tesla stocks first, and then
Mhm.
we'll leave it there for 10 years, and then have that stocks pay for the car. You know,
Exactly.
you can do the same thing with Netflix. You can, I mean, imagine if we invested in Netflix 10 years ago, and I mean 11 years ago in 2010 at $8, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't take that much money to buy 100
Yes.
shares, right? But right now, we would look at our account. We're looking at Netflix. Netflix is selling for $650 something right now,
Mhm.
right? And that's without all the stock splits they did. So I mean, it is so easy to get into the market right now. I mean, it's literally like finding the right person to help you, to sit down with you and teach you how to do it. But even then, you can start with everything you're already doing. That whatever I'm spending money on, like you're doing, hey,
Yes.
I'm owning the company, so I know that next time I can send somebody, hey, you need to buy Samsung. Why? Because I own them. Go buy it.
I own them. Exactly.
Right. I mean, watching Disney Channel will be even, I'll feel good about watching Disney
Yeah.
Channel now because I know that, okay, well, yeah, you need to do better. You need to, because you own it, right?
Own it.
So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
if someone asks you, if someone be like, Luince, when should I start? Like, when should I start this process of becoming, part owner in something, right? If they say, should I wait 10 years? Should I wait 2 days, 2 months? What would you tell them?
Oh, man, the best time to invest was like 10 years ago. Okay. You would have, would have been the best time to get in the market. But
Right.
best time is today. This is all you have. You have today.
Right.
And today, I mean, people will be saying, okay, well, I'm gonna wait till the
Mhm.
market is doing better, and it's just you're never gonna know.
You're never gonna know. Yep.
The market did its thing, because I always tell people the market is going to do what the market does. The market move, right? If it's moving up,
Yeah.
down, or sideways, it doesn't matter. It's moving,
It's
right? And you
moving.
just
Yep.
need to move along with it. So you need to
Yep.
get in there and start moving with it. So the best time to start investing is right now. You do not want to sit on the side and wait, because most people right now, they timing the market.
Yeah.
One of the number one reason why most people don't make money in the market, I have to tell you, Shalonda, the stock market, if you invest in it, you'll win. Okay. It always, I mean, everybody, like look at Warren Buffett. He wins in the market, right? And if you ask Warren Buffett, what's your he have a quote, somebody asked him, what's your like when are you planning to get out? He's like, my
Mhm.
holding time is infinity. Basically, it's like it's
Yeah.
forever. I'm gonna hold forever. So that's why just that you buy a company that's doing great, not a company not a average company, but a great company that that's gonna be doing great, right? You
Mhm.
invest in a company like that and you keep your money there. You do not take it out when the market is doing bad, trying to time it so you can put it back in. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. It has
Exactly.
to work, and you're gonna lose a lot of money doing that. And I don't know. You need to have a plan, and that plan cannot change in a crisis. Okay, this is the worst time to pull your money out or to make crazy decision and listen to the media or listen to other people that's telling you, "Oh, the market is crashing, take your money out." No, you leave it there, and you don't no time in the market. You have a plan, and the worst time to change the plan is in the middle of a crisis.
And when they say scared money don't make no money,
Yeah,
right? So you cannot be fearful during, while investing, because
right.
especially if you have no knowledge of it, when you see those numbers and arrows start to go down, trickling down, and depending on where you currently are in your life, like if you already in a moment of struggling, then you say, okay, I took my last $100 and I invested in this and now I'm losing it. Honestly, it's almost like when you put it in there, you're going to have to forget about it in a sense. And that's just how you're going to have to train your mind, because let's be realistic, right? If I go put $1,000 in the bank, what I'm gaining from that, what, 3% or something like that? And you still have to pay.
Lucky you'll get 3%.
You still have to pay your monthly, fees. So why let that money sit in the bank, and you can actually invest it in something, and while you sleep, it's going to be working for you.
Right. And one other thing too, I mean, the bank, you barely get enough interest on your money to compete with inflation, which is another thing that's killing us, because I mean, 20 years ago with your mom, $5 was okay. You know,
Yeah.
everything was so much less expensive. But we're looking, you're saying like, how did she do that? Well, right now she wouldn't be able to do it because every 10
Mhm.
years the price of everything doubles, right? We're looking at home, the price doubles. We're looking at like even milk. If you want to buy real good milk, I mean, the price is like you have to pay like
Exactly.
almost $8 for a gallon of milk. And I remember, I'm not that old. I'm only like in my 30s, right?
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, we were buying a gallon of milk for $3.
For $3 to be exact, it was $3.28.
Okay. Yeah, so we're like around the same age. I mean, we were
Yeah.
doing gas with
Yeah.
like a one that, or
Yeah.
nine or like 110. But now look at the price of
Yeah.
everything. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna continue to go higher and higher. And the only way to fight inflation, to keep up with everything, is
Mhm.
if our money is beating that. Our money should be like invested in the market where
Mhm.
it's actually working for us, and then we're getting interest that
Yeah.
covering, all of these different things that's about to happen, because it's gonna get pretty real.
You know what? To be honest with you, it's already real. You have so many people that's kind of scattered right now trying to figure out, like, what's next, what's next, what's next. So they're so busy trying to figure out what's next versus paying attention to the what's now.
Yeah.
Because if they stopped in the moment and realized what's now, they'll jump on a whole lot of bandwagons right now, even
Right.
the entrepreneur bandwagon. And I'm not saying everybody should be an entrepreneur. That's not what I'm saying, because everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Then if everybody was entrepreneurs, who's gonna work, right? But the bandwagons are starting to present themselves. So you have the investment pool. All you see Bitcoins, like by the time you get on social media, 10 people already done sent you a friend request. You accept that friend request, and they're trying to sell you Bitcoins or something, crypto. I think a lot of people are starting to understand the knowledge and the understanding of wealth. Um, and a lot of people are using it as a quick method to gain certain things, like build up their capital real quick to
Right.
go something else, or you still have the immature group of people that is building up this money real quick to go buy a flashy car instead of investing in the company that they want to buy a car in. It's just,
Yeah.
but I do feel it's a shift somewhere in the mindset of people are wanting to come into investing of some sort, because
Right.
you have to think, even in the industry I'm in, majority of the wealthiest people, they started off in real estate. They may not was a realtor, but
Right.
they invested into real estate in some form. Land, right now I think everybody should be looking to buy land. Like, even if you had 10 family members,
Mhm. For the,
you
for
guys
the
put your money together,
Yep.
come up and buy acres as it, and now you have a family acres, family land. And I just think that's certain things that we should be doing, not only as a community, but for me personally, especially in a black and brown community, change the way that we are teaching our children. Yeah, I'll get you that Nintendo, but that Nintendo, your next few allowances, we're gonna take that your allowances that we give you, and now we're going to invest in Nintendo or PS4. We're gonna invest in those companies.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
and it's so much. One of the other way too, I mean, with not everybody being an entrepreneur, so even if someone is working a job,
yeah,
um I want we've always educate people that you need to like take advantage of the benefits that's at your job, because multi like there's tons of millionaires that become millionaires just in their 401k. And
yeah.
one of the thing I noticed is that not a lot of people take advantage of that.
Okay.
Okay, not a lot of people take advantage of 401k, and it's literally, if your company is matching your 401k and you don't take advantage of it, it's like leaving money on the table. It's still telling them that you don't need it, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, it's that's even if you don't have the extra money for you to go invest right now on
Mhm.
your own or create another portfolio, if your company is definitely is giving it to you, is definitely a go. Okay, as long as they matching you, you want to invest your money in your 401k, and then at least you start building there.
So before we change that topic, right, about the investing in the 401k, many years ago, I was not a person who believed in 401k for the simple reason you had to be penalized for taking money out, etc. Right?
Right.
So for the ones that have my mentality where I used to be, kind of explain that to them how 401 401k can actually be beneficial.
401k is beneficial for you if your company is matching it. So let's say that I work for a company that, and if I put 5% of my money and they put 5% in for me. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
what happened is, because now we don't have what's called pension. Companies don't give that anymore. So
Right.
the 401k was created as a way to help with retirement. So
Mm-hmm.
basically replace like the pension and everything. So that's their way of saying that I want to help you get to retirement. And if they matching it, and if you say no, I'm not. So if they giving, if you put $5, they put $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you put, some company will match it 50%, right?
Okay.
So we educate clients that, hey, if they matching you, take advantage of it, because that's basically like money that you can build retirement with.
Right.
And literally 8 out of 10, I heard the something, 8 out of 10 millionaires get become millionaires through their 401k.
Okay.
Um, and yes, for and the reason we really focus on it is because of the match, right?
Okay.
And yeah, there are fees. Well, just like with all investment, there are fees that you pay, and just like with any retirement money, there's a penalty if you take it out early. So it's not just the 401k. There's a penalty. There's a penalty if you're investing in a Roth IRA and you take the money out early before retirement. So there's different investment for different things. So if your 401k is for retirement, we encourage people to keep that money there for retirement. That
Okay.
doesn't mean you can't have any other investment. You can have other investment portfolios that offer different things, right? That are short term, to buy a home or to buy a car or to buy anything else or to send your kids to college. You can build those funds, but you should take advantage of all the things that's out there for you. That's
Right.
help you out. But the 10% fee penalty and the taxes
Mm-hmm.
are most investment retirement accounts.
Well,
Yeah.
I wish I knew you about, 15 years ago. And you probably could have talked some sense to my in my head because I was just I was just so stubborn when it came to 401k. You have to send a letter. You have to again, it was the lack of understanding that I had about, investing. I'll just keep it real. If
Right.
I knew, the benefits of, like, really in depth of the benefits of like 401k, the IRA. Uh
Right.
now can you explain the difference between the 401k and the IRA?
Well, the main difference is a 401k is through your job.
Mm-hmm.
And the Roth IRA is like an individual retirement account that
Mm-hmm.
you control, that you own yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the 401k, the Roth IRA, you can have a different with a Roth IRA that you don't have to pay tax. You don't have to pay tax at retirement. So the Roth is tax sheltered, but when you get to 59 and a half, you don't have to pay any tax on that money.
Okay.
But the 401ks, you always gonna pay tax on that money
Money.
because your money is pre-tax. So you're putting money in there before you pay tax. So you're always gonna pay on that money. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have both. Like if there are opportunities out there and you can invest in both, you should. Because even though 401k you'll pay tax in it, but again, remember that match. You don't want to miss that match, right? So
Right.
but to invest $500,000 in your 401k and your company matched it 100%, that means you invest $1 million,
Yeah.
right?
I think now for my kids' birthdays or, loved ones' birthdays, I think everyone is going to get a share, a stock.
Yeah, and you can do that for your kids. I mean, that's what we
Yeah.
started for our kids. We opened what's called a gift account for them.
Mm-hmm.
Opening a gift account meaning that anybody who want to give them a gift can deposit money in that account for them.
Mm-hmm.
So for birthdays, if you're gonna give them a toy that costs $50, give them give them $25 in cash and then give them a $25 toy. You know,
Yeah.
um, and then that's helping them, because we have to build a generation where we don't have kids paying school loan, $200,000 school loans and all of this stuff, because the school loan is literally like keeping us down. Like our government is in debt, and that all they know is how to keep their people in debt too.
Yes.
And we have to find a way to break that curse of, we have to pay, we have to go for a loan to pay for our kids' college. I mean, as soon as a kid is born and they have a social security number, you can open an investment account for them. And anybody who want to give them a gift, you say, hey, write them a check. Okay.
Yeah.
You can send that money to their investment account and literally build money for them, if not for college, for something else that they want.
Right. That is very smart. And honestly, even though I put a little laugh at the end of it, I think for now, for the majority part, if I'm doing something for my kids or a niece or nephew or something like that, it's going to be in some type of investment, because what happened? A toy is going to be broken. They're not going to be able to find it in the next 15, 20 minutes, let alone.
Right.
So why not invest it? Why not?
Right.
Why?
I think they'll definitely like a check, $18,000 check at their 18th birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But like, and they'll think, okay, and so even with us teaching them that on their 18th birthday, most of the times they probably won't even want to touch that. Now they're so intrigued that at the age of 18, what happened 2 years later? They invest in something else, so they invest more. They can
Right.
take that at 18, they can take that $18,000, buy them investment property.
Mm.
By the time they're 25 and 35 years old, they're retired.
How to diversify their money. My daughter, she just got her first job, and my husband was in the car with her and calculating. Okay, well, you're making this amount, and if you work this amount of hours, you'll make this amount a month. We definitely investing half of it. Like half of it is definitely going into an investment account. And I'm doing calculation for her, and I'm like, babe, if you invest $6,000 a year at 17, and you do that for only 6 to 10 years, you don't have to invest any amount of money, and you'll be an automatic millionaire.
Exactly.
And I'm teaching her these numbers, and she's getting excited, and because
Yeah.
if we knew this, I
Yes.
mean, literally, if our parents knew this information, we
Yes.
would be like, we would be starting, somewhere. Like, we wouldn't be starting from the bottom. We would definitely
Exactly.
start with money that we can definitely take to the next level, and that's exactly what generational wealth is. It's giving our kids something to start with.
I agree. That I totally agree with, because even with my daughter, I kind of was telling her when she got her first job, I was like, okay, you get paid every week. So what you can do every week, you don't have any kids, you don't pay any bills. You have no responsibility. Take that and invest. So at first she was like, "Mommy, and she don't receive four checks. Keep in mind, four checks already. She only put away $10. So I'm like, what did you do with your money? You know what she told me? She say, stop counting my pockets.
Wow. Then,
She
okay.
she told me to stop counting her pockets. And we had an agreement that she would save or invest $25 out of each paycheck,
Okay.
right? All she want to do is buy food, go on Shein, buy clothing.
She-
Yesterday, the topic came up like, what have you invested? What did you put away for an investment for your future? You know what I mean?
right.
And she said it again to me. Stop counting my pockets.
Wow.
So now I'm trying to find a way that I can show her, like, okay, you don't want me to count your pockets, but now you want me to take money that I can put in some form of an investment and spend it on something extra that you probably don't need. When you had an opportunity, if you want a new pair of shoes, you can invest that, let your investment interest rate pay for those shoes, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So
Yes.
we'll see how it go. But all I know is she better come and ask mommy because mommy gonna tell her stop counting my pockets.
My and one of with your little ones, one of
Uh-huh.
with my daughter when she was 11, I bought her. I used to go to this conference and I got her a book that basically teach her how to do the. I'm not sure if you ever heard of the envelope
Mhm.
theory, where she breaks her money in five and then she put like 20% for investment, 20% for spending, 20% for fun,
Mhm.
20% for giving.
Mhm.
So basically, she break her money in five, and then she'll still have money to play with, you know. So it's
Right.
fun because she'll still have money to buy her clothes. I mean, it might take a couple of paychecks to build the amount of money you need, but then
Right.
I mean, later on, you might wanna like the investment money you're building. You know, if she can
Right.
have goals toward it. So if she wanna buy something, so I mean, I told my daughter, if you wanna buy a car at 18, you most likely you're gonna put 50%. I put 50%. So I guess your car's gonna be as big as your 50%. You know, so if you
Exactly.
only 2,000. If you only save $2,000, I guess we're getting a $4,000 car.
$4,000 car.
So
Yeah.
I think it's definitely like having a goal is everything. And
Mhm.
once they start seeing that, like small goals. So let's say we wanted to buy a purse and then we save the money and then now we can buy it. And then now they notice, oh my God,
Yes.
because I saved my money, I can do this, right?
Mhm.
It's building that and having the fun money. Was the contract was you have to spend your fun money every month, so you have to have some type of fun with it. So with your 20%, I mean, I don't know, go to the movies, go somewhere, whatever, as long as you're having fun, because
Right.
that money help them stay motivated because they know that it's not just saving, it's not just giving my money, but it's like also that I can have fun with my money too. So
Right.
that's
Right.
a great way to help them build that. And it's good with kids because when my daughter was doing it at 11 and my son started doing it following her,
Yeah.
um it was fun for them, and they'll $10 split it in five. So start
Exactly.
with that'll be good for them, for the little ones.
So we'll say, let me ask you this question. So I'll say, what other outside of 401k, outside of an IRA, how expensive is it to start investing? We know the 401ks with the job. So we'll say outside of employment, how expensive or what type of funds would you need to start investing? Is it a minimum?
Well, with the investment that I work with, some of them, the minimum to invest is $25 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can start building a portfolio. I mean, a diversified portfolio. It's not like you're gonna buy one stock. I mean, we have
Mhm.
like a pool of stocks and different things that you can buy, and you can literally start it with $25. And the
Mhm.
best thing about this type of investment is that they have what's called managers. They have people
Okay.
manage funds for you, so you don't have to be on your computer every day trading the market. You know,
Okay.
knowing how the companies are doing. Somebody's doing that for you. I mean, they get
Mhm.
paid based on how much they go your account. Okay, so you can
Okay.
know that they have a, I mean, they have your best interest at heart, because
Okay.
they only getting paid as much money like they make you. So
Okay.
that's one way to get started. It's very minimal. And you're guaranteed to be diversified in the market. So
Okay.
you can pick your investments. You can, if you like technology, you can decide, hey, I want to invest in technology, or I want to invest in the car industry or the retail industry. So you have a choice. You get to sit down with someone and create a portfolio together and decide
Okay.
where your money is going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give someone that say, you know what, I wasn't taught about finances, I wasn't taught about saving, I wasn't taught, just the basics to even begin to understand investing. What would you give that person? Um what would you tell him or her?
I would tell them the best thing to do is to find someone that you can get, that can give you the information. Okay,
Okay.
someone that's not gonna charge you for it.
Okay.
And I mean, I sit down with clients every day, and I don't charge them for my time. Okay, I get paid once I start doing business with a client, but I will sit down with them 3-4 times before they even decide, or if they ever decide to do business with me. So find somebody who have your best interest at heart, somebody who's going to sit down with you and teach you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's going to take an educational, like, it's not going to be like, oh, put your money there, and they don't even care about what's going on, but they're going to take your goals. They're going to take your they're going to like sit down and set a plan with you, like a nice like portfolio, like talk to you about, okay, well, why are we investing, how long we investing for, what's the goal of this money. And they really gonna like help you, create a goal, a game plan to
Mm-hmm.
thing. But you need to know that they have your, they all about, getting you to the next level.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of things going on out there, because people are, I mean, I'm not bashing any type of investment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about anything specific. Okay. So I'm about, I'm gonna be like, I'm saying everything based on my opinion. And you don't wanna, in the beginning, you don't wanna start managing your own money. You don't wanna like get into the market and start timing the market yourself and trying to know when to go in or when to go out. I mean, this year this happened a lot, and a lot of people lost a lot of money in the market, because there's people out there that's been doing this for like 30, 40, 50 years that know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They taking everybody out, so you
Yes.
do that. You want to sit down with a professional that can help you pick investments and create a game plan, whatever. You don't want to go into forex. It's telling you, or I mean, that's like market that are very, 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 very risky to get into. So but the right person will teach you like how to get started, and you'll know because they probably won't get paid for it at first, but
Mm-hmm.
they'll really go all out for you.
So my next question to you is, are you accepting new clients?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always accepting new clients. I see people via Zoom. I'm only licensed in a couple of states. Texas and California, Florida, and a couple more, Indiana.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I mean, you can contact me. If even if I couldn't sit down with you, I'll find somebody, in those states that can sit down with you via Zoom, create a game plan for you, and teach you exactly what you need to know.
How can they reach you?
Um, I guess I can send you my information, and then you can put it up on the group.
Okay.
But besides that, I'm Lunis, LUNICEDUFRENE. That's the same on Facebook. It's the same on Instagram. The same thing on LinkedIn. So it's the same thing. So everybody can find me if they need to. But I'll give you some more information if you need, so you can give to anybody that asks you. Yeah.
Sounds good. Now we're coming to the end of our, girl chat. So what I like to do, every guest that I, come on, every co-host, I like to find out what book they're reading. So, are you reading any particular books right now? And if so, what is it about?
I am. I'm actually reading The Go Giver. Not sure if you can
Okay.
see. It's The
Okay.
Go Giver. I've read it like this is my fourth time reading it.
Okay.
It's an easy read. It's like 130 pages and stuff, but it's 130 pages of amazing information for the business owner who wanna build a huge business. Because
Wow.
what it's about, and it's kind of like what you're doing right now, you giving to people, right? And the best way to build a business is to be a go-giver, is to give yourself, put yourself out there and give to people, because as much as you give, it will come back to you, um,
Right.
tenfold. So this is what it's about. It's about this guy who was struggling in his business, and he needed the next deal.
Mm-hmm.
But he had this business guru that
Okay.
actually taught him the laws of business, which is about giving to others. You have to be willing to give to others in order for them to give back to you, and it's awesome.
Well, I greatly appreciate your time on this beautiful Sunday. Thank you for not being hesitant and jumping on with me. Love to connect. I don't
Yes,
want this to be our last meet and greet. I would love for us to continue this networking. So we can spread the education, to the masses about just it's a difference between wealth and generational wealth. So I
right.
want the masses to know about the generational wealth, which is going to stay longer.
Yes,
So I
yes.
would love to keep partnering with you on this journey. And maybe we can do a live seminar, even if I have to come to Jacksonville, which I don't mind.
I mean,
And
it's fun down here in Jacksonville. We actually like experience all the seasons.
yeah,
So
yeah.
come, like during winter, you'll be like cold enough.
Yeah, so let's put our heads together, and we're definitely gonna stay in touch.
Yes.
And like I said, I would love to do an in-person seminar with you.
Yes, I mean it was definitely like good to be here. I love sharing these things because I know if so, I mean, I would have loved somebody to share this with my dad, 40 years ago. I would have been a lot further today.
Exactly.
But again, the next best time is to do it now.
That
That's what we have is now. So I'm glad to do this again. Whenever you need me, you just let me know.
sounds good. Well, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. It was a pleasure, and finish your Sunday with your family, and we will be in touch. How
Awesome.
about
Bye guys.
bye bye?